Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. Mark Causey here from Black Cat Comics in Rockin' Milpitas. Every Wednesday is New Comic Day, and I like to give you some great reasons to get down to your local comic shop and pick up something fun to read. And as usual, this week is packed with stuff that's fun to read. It's all about the foily covers these days with the DC guys. This is your latest issue of Detective Comics, one of the other hot Batman titles rolling out these days. This is your cool foil cover to Superman number 4, part of the Brian Michael Bendis takeover of the Superverse. I've been super into all this cool stuff. Everybody knows I'm a big Superman fan. You can grab Action 1000 to 103, the last 3 or 4 issues of Superman. You need to at least grab that Man of Steel 6-issue miniseries to figure out what's going on with all of this. Fun stuff. Good time to be a Superman fan. Wonder Woman with the cool foil cover. Really one of the best books DC does. It's been one of their best books for a long time. This is part 2 of the Witching Hour stuff that's going on with Justice League Dark. If you don't know much about Justice League Dark, you're going to want to get into that before you check out this cool issue of Wonder Woman. Catwoman gets her foil cover this week. That's one of your other Bat books. A lot of fun going on there. Supergirl is your other super book for the week. This one has also been very cool, following along with the Brian Michael Bendis stuff. He's not writing this one, but of course it ties into what he's got going on. Good stuff there. The Flash, DC's new biggest TV star, and Hawkman back in his own book. If you've let this one get by you, you're going to want to catch up on this. Great stories, great art, 2 things that make any comic excellent. And of course, if you're picking up all the foil covers, you're going to want to grab that. Red Hood and the Outlaws. A lot going on in this book. This one seems to just get more and more popular all the time. So if you're one of the 3 people not following this one, here's your jump-in point. The Titans. Another cool, shiny foily. I should point out that these especially cool foil covers are standard cover price at $3.99. They're not socking you for an extra $1, which is awfully cool of them. And of course, they've still got the cool Virgin B cover thing going on. Suicide Squad rounds out your main DC stuff for the week. But Cursed Comics Cavalcade kicks off the Halloweenery for the month. You know, here at Black Cat Comics, we're always talking up Halloween. And we'll be talking a little bit more of that as the video goes on. This one's supersized. It's kind of an anthology. A lot of different spooky stories from across the DCU. If you love the DCU, if you love scary comics, you love anthologies, this one is a little pricey at $9.99, but for a Halloween book, that ought to go into your stack. Plastic Man is your mini-series book of the week. Love me some Plaz. Scooby Apocalypse is your Hanna-Barbera book of the week. Really been talking up all the great stuff DC's been doing with across the line with the Hanna-Barbera thing, with this one and Future Quest, a whole bunch of other stuff. Good stuff there. And House of Whispers is your Vertigo book, because DC does so much more than just superhero stuff. This is another one of those spinning out of the Sandman Universe titles. So you're going to want to grab that Sandman Universe 0, the first issues of some of the different ones rolling out. There's 4 of them all together. Everybody loves Neil Gaiman. Saw a lot of him out in New York Comic Con last weekend. Huge week for Marvel. Some of my very, very favorite books this week. Avengers, with Submariner on the cover there. Good stuff. Everybody knows I'm a longtime Avengers fan. Captain America number 4. Check out that especially cool cover. This is the current relaunch of America's Greatest Hero. Everybody knows I'm a big Captain America fan. Immortal Hulk with the Avengers on the cover there. This one is one of my new favorite Marvel books. I'm traditionally speaking not a big Hulk fan, but this is sort of a new yet classic take on the character. Sort of dark, sort of heavy. Again, just in time for Halloween. Grab the 3rd or 4th printing to number 1 to see what all the buzz is about. What If? Marvel's rolling out the What Ifs. They do this every once in a while. I'm a huge fan of the original run. I was just closing up, finishing off my run out at New York Comic Con. I love these takes on classic moments in Marvel history. This is What If Peter Parker had become the Punisher. Cool stuff there. There was a couple other ones last week. They're doing $1 True Believer reprints of some of the original stuff. So if you don't know much about What If, check out all that stuff because it's lots of fun. Huge week for this guy. This is Spider-Geddon #1. I hope you picked up Spider-Geddon #0 last week because it's super sold out. This is the new big Marvel event. This is where you find all your favorite Spider characters like Miles Morales and Spider-Gwen and everybody that's not Peter Parker, though of course Peter Parker's in there too. And speaking of good old Pete, this is the current issue of the classic main title, Amazing Spider-Man. And you get Spider-Man Deadpool, you get Ben Reilly the Scarlet Spider, and there's this guy you might have heard of. He's called Venom. I think there's a movie coming out. Out of New York Comic Con, we were picking up all kinds of cool Venom stuff. We got all kinds of neat stuff on the wall from the show, so make sure you check out that as well as all the new stuff. Infinity Wars #4. It's the new big Marvel event. I know everybody gets event fatigue, but then they read Infinity Countdown and it was huge and awesome. So Infinity Countdown exploded. Infinity Wars has exploded. If you've been holding out, you're going to want to grab the first issue and catch up because a lot of moving and shaking, a lot going on in that book. Miss Marvel and Unbeatable Squirrel Girl, along with X-23. And just for the heck of it, let's throw in Domino, our 4 of your Women of Marvel books. All 4 are very popular, very solid titles. Everybody loves X-23. X-Men Black Mojo is the follow-up to last week's X-Men Black Magneto. These are all one-shots on the villains that help you get ready for the relaunch of Uncanny X-Men, which is right around the corner. And Exiles rounds out your Marvel stuff for the week, because we always love those alternate universe takes on our favorite characters. But Solo, a Star Wars story, is your Star Wars book of the week. I really enjoyed the movie. I'm stoked to see the comic adaptation. Always encouraging you guys to jump in on the great job Marvel's doing with all their Star Wars stuff. If you like the movie like I did, you can pick up this one, and you can pick up the Lando mini that just wrapped up, sort of set in the same time frame. Fun stuff. A great week for all the other guys too. She Could Fly is my burger book of the week. What's a burger book? Go to darkhorsecomics.com. Check out all the awesome things that Karen Berger is doing over there. She was the mastermind behind Vertigo for a long time over at DC. Now she's at Dark Horse bringing her genius out to you guys. This one's by, I was thinking of Seeds, but anywho, She Could Fly is your one for this week. That's super awesome. Joe Gollum is your other Dark Horse book of the week because I'm always talking up the cool Mike Mignola universe. Everybody's getting ready for the new Hellboy movie. That's going to be awesome. Great week for the Image guys. Oblivion Song is a book that you've been waiting for because that's one of their new big hits. Birthright is one that's been rolling out for a while. If you don't know much about this one, it's a really cool book. Grab that $1 reprint of the first issue or grab the first trade paperback and see what all the buzz is about. Image has so many cool, unique titles, and that's one of them. This is another one. This is Hey Kids Comics, because I talk up anything from Howard Chaykin. You should definitely read anything from Howard Chaykin, unless you're squeamish. Murder Falcon is your first issue, gotta have it Image book of the week, because there's always a first issue, gotta have it Image book of the week. Project Superpowers is my Dynamite book of the week. Project Superpowers takes Golden Age characters that you probably haven't heard of and gives them a bit of a modern spin, shows you what made them cool all those years ago, and it makes them cool again. I'm always talking up Dynamite and the great job they do with their licensed property stuff. They're hugely faithful to original material while making it cool and modern and all that for the new readers, like Red Sonja and Tarzan. Again, always talking up the great job they do with their licensed stuff. Also talking up what a great era of mashups we have going on these days. Red Sonja Tarzan is your one for this week, much like Star Trek Transformers and all kinds of other things that are rolling out these days. Go-Go Power Rangers is your Boom Studios book of the week because everybody loves the mighty MMPR. Star Wars Adventures, Tales from Vader's Castle is my IDW book of the week. You can read more about this one in the newsletter. Yes, I know it's an all-ages Disney title, but it belongs in this section because it's Star Wars and it's awesome and it's Halloween. This is spooky Star Wars stories. What's cooler than that? It's a weekly title. There's going to be 5 of them. We still got number 1 in stock. This is number 2. Make sure you're here next week for 3. Robotech is my Titan book of the week because everybody loves giant robots punching things. Animosity is my Aftershock book of the week. Been talking more and more about Aftershock. Great stories, great art. Animosity is the one that kind of put them on the map, kind of put them on my radar along with Dark Ark. Really cool stuff. Ninja K, or Ninjak as we used to call it, is your Valiant book of the week. Always encouraging you guys to have a Valiant title on your list. And Elric, the White Wolf, rounds out all of your mainstream comics for the week. If you don't know much about Elric, if you don't know much about Michael Moorcock, well, you can do a little bit of Googling and boy, you're in for a treat because there's all kinds of great Elric material out there. That's, of course, your Titan book of the week. And getting into the all ages, I told you we'd be talking about a lot of Halloween. Here at Black Cat Comics, we love Halloween. Got the Halloween Spooktacular coming up at the end of the month. So all the all ages books this week have, at least the ones I'm showing you, have a cool Halloween bend. This is your Archie Halloween special. Always talking up Archie these days and the great job they do with everything that they do. Check out Afterlife with Archie. Check out The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. That's going to be a Netflix show really soon. And of course, this is the good old all ages kind of stuff that you're more familiar with. Halloween stories are always fun. The Giant Halloween Hex is your Disney Halloween book for the week. Always talking up what a great job IDW does with all their Disney stuff. My Little Pony gets in on the Halloween stuff with some spooky tales in the My Little Ponyverse. And SpongeBob SquarePants even has some spooky undersea adventures for you, because everybody loves SpongeBob. I do think, sadly, this might be the last issue of SpongeBob, along with The Simpsons. Bongo Comics is, well, going off to retirement, or whatever you want to say. So enjoy this one while you can before the license will certainly get picked up by somebody. And if all that Halloween stuff is too scary for you, well, we've got the first issue of Season 11 of Adventure Time. Because the show is gone, but the comic keeps on rolling just like good comics too. And Tangled, the series, gives you a little more Disney that's not necessarily Halloweenified. Great stuff there. Really, really good week for all the different publishers. So make sure you check the shipping list. Get down to your shop, pick up something super awesome. Want to remind you, we were out at New York Comic Con last week. Got a lot of cool books here up on the wall, like Avengers 57, one of the greatest books of all time. So make sure you check the back wall while you're here this week, while we're talking up the stories. And we want to encourage you to register to vote. Just got a little bit left. I think the 22nd is your last day to register here in California. We got registration forms here in the shop. Wherever you are on the political dial, it is every good American's responsibility to get out there and cast your vote. Captain America would want you to do that. That's all we got for you for this week. You can check us out at Facebook, check us out at YouTube, check us out at black-cat-comics.com, where you can check out the cool Shopify store and find things that you aren't going to find here in the good old brick and mortar. You can catch this, the podcast at soundcloud.com, or just get on down here to the good old brick and mortar in Rockin' Milpitas. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.